Greetings, everybody. Just wanted to come at you with this report out of the National Journal, and I thought it was kind of interesting. Um, and I put it on my blog, and so here it is. I titled it RFID chip being issued in Hanna, Wyoming as part of a new Obamacare plan, a mark of the beast style technology perhaps. Now I'm not officially saying this this is the official mark of the beast, but it is possible, and I would not take any chances. But it is possibly. But it is a possibility, and I will not take any chances. Apparently these chips have a numeric code in them which read 131618. And if you read Revelation 13:16 through 18, it reads, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Now again, I will not take any chances on regardless if they made this mandatory or not. In Hanna, Wyoming, the mayor there is making it mandatory for its citizens there. Okay, so and so here's the article. This is out of the National Journal, and I link to that, and I link to the National Journal here on my blog site here, which I will provide in the description box below. Here we can see the size and shape of the exciting new RFID chip. And you can see right there, grain of rice, the RFID chip. I mean, most of you already know about that. The Obamacare RFID chips are currently being given a test run on the proud and patriotic citizens of Hanna, Wyoming. Over the last 2 weeks, a special piece of legislation has been passed making it mandatory for anyone who receives welfare or any other form of government assistance to be implanted with these new identification chips. Even select government employees and officials have been ordered to receive the new subdermal device, which is typically implanted in the fatty tissue of the individual's buttock. Police officers, military, even garbage men will all be required to have the RFID chip by the end of the next month or face termination from their jobs. Now, you can see the preparations for a mark of the beast type scenario. I'm not necessarily saying this is the mark of the beast, but you know, it's leading up to that in so many ways. During the beta testing stage of this amazing new technological development, many new outlets have remained silent, waiting to see how the trial pans out before reporting on the subject. National Report, always on the cutting edge, sent me on location to Hanna, Wyoming to speak with some of the townsfolk and gather their opinions and experiences regarding their newly acquired RFID chips. Tammy Josephine Lawrence, a single mother of 3 who is currently accepting housing assistance, got her chip implanted just hours before we had a chance to sit down and speak with her. She had the following to say. Now, this is really, this is kind of disturbing when you listen to this. She goes on to say, "Well, they said I better do this, or they was gonna, or they were going to cut the welfare. I'm a full-time single mother. I got 3 young kids that need me at all hours and ain't no man to help. I didn't have no choice." See, that's the whole thing, is this technology or prelude to a mark of the beast type system is going to be like this. And what happens if your kid gets sick? What happens if your kid needs food? How are you going to do this? Are you going to go along with the system? Or are you going to trust in God? Just like Elijah did and had the crows and the buzzards give him food when he was out in the wilderness. Okay, because that's what it's going to come down to. And here she had to do this so she can remain on the welfare system, so she can still receive benefits from the government. If she didn't do this, because the mayor in Wyoming made it law, made it mandatory, then she was going to be cut off of all government welfare programs. When asked if the procedure was invasive, she informed us that it was a little like giving blood, and that she felt tired after getting the implant, which apparently is a common but benign side effect. I also spoke with Hannah, Wyoming's mayor, Ted Howell, whose full support of the RFID chip made it mandatory for the citizens of his small community. Leading by example, he was the first recipient of the RFID chip, having it implanted publicly at a recent town hall meeting. He was the first recipient of Hannah, Wyoming, basically, not of the whole country. He goes on to say, quote, "This is change for a better, safer America." He said, while undergoing the 10-minute procedure with the scientific advancement, the terrorists do not stand a chance. USA will prevail. The ordinance has had some opposition, however, as several of the local churches have spoke out against the chips with protests. These fringe apocalyptic churches believe Obama to be the Antichrist. Now, I don't really endorse that, but I believe he is a Antichrist, but I don't think he is the Antichrist. Okay? You ain't got to look no further than the Vatican to see I believe, the Antichrist. And that's been known through the ages. And claim the RFID chip is the mark of the beast written about in their book of Revelation. They cite the RFID chip's supposed serial number of 131618 as corresponding with Revelation 13:16 through 18. Of course, rural superstition ultimately have no sway when it comes to the progressive new America, and their scripture-laden outcries have largely been ignored. The journalist embraces the new change and even got her very own RFID chip before heading back to the National Report's home offices. The surgery was quick, simple, and more or less painless. I can barely tell I've been implanted at all. A sacrifice I've gladly made for my country's national security and hope you will too. Okay, so this is really just the first steps of this, it seems like. Under the Affordable Health Care Act, or in other terms, Obamacare. So I figured I'd come out here and share this with you, and truth be told, truth be known, stay safe, God bless, let me know what you guys think, comments will be posted below.